Discover the best in local business news with a subscription to the IBJ and Inside Indiana Business. For a limited time, try us out for just $1 a week for 8 weeks. Claim this limited time offer now at ibj.com/trial offer.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of Friday, February 27th, 2026. I'm Alex Braun. Netherlands-based refrigerated food logistics provider NewCold is once again expanding its presence in Boone County. The company is planning to invest more than $500 million to build and equip a new facility at the Lebanon Business Park and create more than 200 jobs by the end of 2028. The expansion is the third phase of NewCold's development in Lebanon, bringing the company's total investment to $800 million since 2020. Hundreds of college students from across Indiana gathered in Indianapolis today for the Inaugural Collegiate Entrepreneurs Summit, an event designed to help student founders build cross-campus connections and strengthen Indiana's entrepreneurial network. Adam Andres, founder of Intercollegiate Entrepreneurs, said the event was created to help address a big need.
We saw this opportunity for these cross-campus collaborations, but there was no way currently set up for them to meet. Alongside that, another thing that we realized was that the students at these different universities, even the ones leading their own entrepreneurship communities at their schools, they didn't recognize the opportunity that there was in Indiana as a whole to start your own business. That's actually a really big part of our summit, is to communicate how great of a state Indiana is to start a business.
Organizers hope the summit becomes an annual event and could eventually expand across the Midwest. Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology is marking a key milestone in the construction of its Innovation Grove District. The institute recently placed the highest steel beam on what will be the new Rose-Hulman Ventures building, which represents the first phase of the $102 million Innovation District. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Thanks for listening to this IBJ Media podcast. You're probably going to remember this ad. Do you know why? Podcast advertising works. 85% of listeners recalled hearing an ad during a podcast, and 70% of podcast listeners have acted after hearing an ad. So whether you're looking to be heard across the entire IBJ Media Podcast Network, sponsor one of our shows, or just start with a 30-second ad, IBJ Media can help. Contact advertise at ibj.com to learn more.
Perhaps hundreds of Indiana's roughly 1,000 township governments could face consolidation under a bill on its way to Governor Mike Braun's desk. IIB's Aubriana Herron has more.
State senators voted 34-15 on Thursday in favor of the bill that supporters say is aimed at improving local government efficiency. Provisions of Senate Bill 270, which the House approved on Tuesday, would require townships with poor performance scores to merge with other townships or some cities. The bill's author, Republican Senator Rick Niemeyer of Lowell, said while about 325 townships could face mergers, the legislation was meant to preserve township government. Indiana's township officials have long argued for the importance of the services they provide. That work includes providing emergency aid for expenses such as utilities and housing to low-income residents, with some townships also operating fire departments or parks and maintaining old cemeteries. The bill specifies that townships would accumulate points based upon factors such as whether it provides emergency aid, operates a fire department or emergency medical services agency, files financial reports on a timely basis, and has had candidates in recent township trustee elections. Some senators said they worried about the impact the merger process would have on services in rural areas, including volunteer fire departments. Aubriana Herron, Inside Indiana Business Radio.
After barely passing in the Senate earlier this week, a bill that would put a $500 million casino in Northeast Indiana is heading to the governor's desk with added mandatory referendum language, a previous point of contention among some lawmakers. House Bill 1038 allows for a casino to operate in either Allen, DeKalb, or Steuben counties, but those communities would need to pass a referendum in order to be considered as the potential host site of the new casino. In addition to a countywide vote, a majority of the county's commissioners would also need to sign off on the project. The legislation heading to Governor Mike Braun doesn't increase the number of gaming licenses in the state, as it takes an unused off-track horse racing license and converts it into a full casino license. The city of Fort Wayne is inching closer to commencing master planning efforts for the redevelopment of property that once housed a metal recycling plant north of the city's downtown. The Allen County Fort Wayne Capital Improvement Board on Thursday approved up to $1.5 million to support the North River District development. A portion of the funding, totaling just over $182,000, will cover an initial payment to Kansas City-based Price Brothers Development, which was selected in November as the project's master developer. That amount will cover half of a proposed professional services agreement with the firm. If the city's redevelopment commission approves the agreement, Price Brothers will begin master planning work on the project, which will transform the 29-acre site into a mixed-use district that will include the $60 million North River Fieldhouse. Check out the latest episodes of the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, and entertainment, and beyond. Available now on the IBJ Media app or your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.
You know, the economy and the market are in a hairy place these days. It's up a lot, it's down a lot, it's sideways, and seems on the hour there's breaking news coming out of all areas of the country. How do you get your head around that? How do you not go crazy in the process? I'm Peter Dunn. You may know me as Pete the Planner, IBJ columnist, and my job for years has been to help you understand your financial life better in context with everything else going on. So what am I encouraging you to do? Well, listen to the Pete the Planner Show. Yeah, it's a podcast. You can get it wherever you get your podcasts, or simply listen at ibjpodcasts.com.
Want to give your team a real edge? The IBJ Group Plan delivers unlimited access to every story, every report, every video from IBJ and Inside Indiana Business for your whole team. Cover some or all of your employees with one simple payment. The more you add, the more you save. It's smart, it's flexible, and it saves you up to 30% off the standard rate. Already have IBJ subscribers in your office? Group up and save big. Learn more and get started now at ibj.com/group-plan.